Welcome back to Sunsplash, Kentucky Proud Park, where the Cats welcome in the Red Storm of St. John's. The Red Storm continue their road swing to begin the season. They're coming to Lexington straight from Tempe, Arizona, where they were swept by Arizona State. The Red Storm enter with a record of 1-6. Kentucky's coming off the victory over Western Kentucky on Tuesday night. They are 6-2 on the season. Darren Hedrick with you. We're joined by the Hall of Famer Keith Madison in the booth. We've got Bo Robinson producing for us back in our network headquarters in downtown Lexington tonight. We are also simulcasting this broadcast on the SEC Plus, so we welcome all of those watching this afternoon's matchup as Jackson Jelkin makes his first home start. He'll throw opposite right-hander Liam O'Leary. Tonight's game is presented by BBN United. If you want even more access to exclusive Wildcat experiences, unique merchandise, and elevated access, sign up for a BBN United membership today. You can unlock special members-only perks and help build the future of UK athletics. Visit bbnunited.com today. With that, the Wildcats have taken the field. They are clad in their crisp, clean white uniforms this afternoon, white jerseys and pants with blue numerals, Kentucky in blue on the front of the jersey. They've got the digitized camo caps on this afternoon. The Red Storm are in light gray jerseys and pants with a navy blue pinstripe, red numerals, and St. John's in red on the front. It's time to meet the starting lineups. First for St. John's, left fielder Luis Rodriguez will lead it off, followed by center fielder John LaGrande. Third baseman Jader Rafestanger, the junior third baseman, will bat third. Hitting cleanup is the first baseman Sean McMillan. Right fielder Dylan Fitzsimmons bats fifth. Hitting sixth, Aiden Fry, the second baseman. Catcher Adam Agresti bats seventh. Hitting eighth is the shortstop Rob Mansour, and designated hitter Jack Tate rounds out the batting nine for the Red Storm. Jackson Jelkin has finished his warm-up tosses. First pitch of the ballgame comes home, and it's grounded softly third base side of the infield, but foul off the bat. Tyler Cerny for Kentucky had a bead on that slow roller to the left of the mound, but it was a foul ball in the box, and so it's strike one. We are underway on time at 4:02 Eastern from Kentucky Proud Park. Defensively for the Wildcats in game one of this series, Scott Campbell Jr. with the start in left field, Jace Tarnish in center, Ryan Schwartz in right field. It'll be an 0-1 from Jelkin, and a fastball misses up. Tyler Cerny, you've heard from at third base. Luke Lawrence with another turn at shortstop. Ethan Hindle starting at second base. Hudson Brown at first. And the rookie Owen Jenkins behind the dish. The 1-1. And that's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rodriguez, who's hitting .207 across the first 7 games. He's 6 for 29. A double, triple, home run, and 2 RBIs early in the year. 1-2 pitch. Low and outside. Jelkin has a 5-pitch mix. As we welcome in Coach Madison to the broadcast, he slides over next to me on my right. A 5-pitch mix for Jelkin, and really it could be considered 6 as the offering home is chopped up the third base line. That's a foul ball. A young man who sports 2 different kinds of fastballs, sinker, four-seamer. He's got a cutter, slider, changeup, curveball, and just when the hitter thinks he's got him figured out, throws a splitter up there.
Wow. That's not fair for a hitter, is it?
Here's the offering again, and it's sent in the air to deep center. Ranging back is Tarnish. He slows with plenty of room to work with, and he makes the catch as he drifts to his bare hand right, and Rodriguez flies out to start the game. That'll bring up the center fielder John LaGrande. Coach, St. John's, one of these schools from the way up north, and they're having to start on the road as they typically do this time of year because of the winter weather up in the northeast. They just came from Tempe where they kind of got stranded. First pitch, and that's elevated on the outer half for a strike. LaGrande hitting .292 in 7 games. They had a couple extra days in Tempe because of the blizzard that came through the New York area and the Northeast. Here's the 0-1 to Rodriguez, and that paints the outer edge with a strike, middle away, 0-2.
Well, Darren, one of the things I'd say about St. John's schedule is we're catching them at the right time. You don't want to play teams like St. John's in late April or May because then they're ready.
Yeah.
But they do play on the road a lot early in the season.
The 0-2 to LaGrande misses high, left-handed hitter. That was 96 from Jelkin.
Jelkins can bring it. He's, that four-seamer really has great carry, has good spin, and then he's got the two-seamer that sinks.
1-2 misses low. Yeah, they began the season in a neutral side event against Ball State in Minnesota. Lost 2 games to Ball State, 1 to the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Their one win, 11-7 at Stetson. Be a 2-2 to LaGrande. And that's outside. 3-2. But the Red Storm have quite the history, a tradition of winning baseball. They've been to the College World Series 6 times. The last appearance was in 1980. Payoff pitch, and it's chopped foul.
One thing I'll say about Coach Hampton at St. John's, he's not afraid to play some good competition early in the season on the road.
And this is St. John's first SEC opponent since they played in the NCAA tournament against Mississippi State in 2024. It'll be another 3-2 from Jelkin, and that one's popped up off the handle, shallow left. Out goes Lawrence, on comes Campbell, and Campbell makes the catch as that one was trying to find a hole between him and Lawrence to splash down, but it's out number 2 as Lawrence, I beg your pardon, as Campbell makes the catch.
Yeah, it looked like Luke Lawrence wanted that ball, but the left fielder has priority there, and so the right call was made.
Bud Light is a proud sponsor of University of Kentucky Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Drink responsibly. With 2 outs, here's Jader Rafestanger, left-handed batter, and a 2-seam strike from Jelkin, it looked like. Makes it 0-1. That one was on the inside corner.
Coach Nick Mingione and Dan Roselle, the pitching coach, have to be pleased with the number of strikes that Jelkin's throwing right now.
There was the 4-seam fastball running in and off the glove of Jenkins, 1-1. Rafe Stanger's a junior, hitting .261. 6 hits across 23 at bats. One. Rolled up the first baseline, but foul off his foot.
We were talking about the 2-seamer and the 4-seamer that Jelkins throws. Normally, that 4-seamer is going to have more velocity, but the 2-seamer is going to have more movement.
Has more sink to it.
Yes, it does. That's a great pitch against the left-handed hitter.
Here's the 1-2. And he misses low. And when you talk about a sinker ball, Coach, for fans, you just imagine an X movement. The ball's going one way on the X, and the bat of the hitter is going the other way. Makes it tough to square up if you execute the pitch correctly. There's an executed off-speed pitch.
That looked like a good slider that caught the lower part of the plate. That was a nice pitch.
And it was strike 3 on Rafestanger, and Jelkin turns the Red Storm away. 1-2-3, a perfect inning brought to you by Lexus of Lexington, the relentless pursuit of perfection. Kentucky comes to bat for the first time when we come back on the UK Sports Network. Hitting fifth is third baseman Tyler Cerny. Right fielder Ryan Schwartz bats sixth. Hitting seventh is the catcher Owen Jenkins, a 4-hit night against the Hilltoppers Tuesday. Designated hitter Carson Hansen and left fielder Scott Campbell Jr. round out the batting nine for the Cats. Liam O'Leary on the bump for the Red Storm. Big right-hander. He kicks and deals, and Hindle watches a strike on the outer half. O'Leary, 2 starts. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 4.2. He has surrendered 5 runs on 10 hits across 10 2/3 innings this season. 0-1. Swing and a foul into the glove. 0-2.
He's a tall, lanky right-hander. And Darren, you got to love that name, Liam O'Leary.
6'4", 175. It's a baseball name.
You don't get much more Irish than that.
Pitch misses low from O'Leary, who broke onto the scene. He's from the state of Pennsylvania, and he pitched for Lackawanna Community College, which is right there around Scranton, PA, eastern Pennsylvania, for those not as familiar. NEPA. 1-2. Strike 3, froze him. Breaking ball on the outside corner, and Hindle goes down, 1 away.
He has excellent command early in the game here of that breaking ball, and he was filling that strike zone up with it.
St. John's out of Queens, New York. They got hit hard by that, what looked like functionally a hurricane when you looked at the radar, but it was a giant blizzard in the Northeast. First pitch to Luke Lawrence, sliced out of play. Luke, a left-handed batter, hitting .364, 12 for 33. He's got a home run, and he's driven in 8. His 1 home run this year was a grand slam.
That's the way to do it.
That was against UNC Greensboro. 0-1. And that misses below the knees on the inner half.
He has a black mark against him, though. I think he's the only guy that's been thrown out on the bases for Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. At least in the starting lineup he is. But he can run a little bit.
1-1. Upstairs. Yeah, Lawrence is 1 for 2.
He's filled
on
in
stolen base attempts.
Yeah, he's filled in well for Tyler Bell at shortstop.
2-1, fouled into the screen behind home.
Of course, he has a lot of history playing shortstop. Yeah. So that helps. And with Tyler Bell's injury, he's filled in very nicely over there. Made some nice plays.
Transfer in from Illinois State. Also played hockey when he was growing up. 2-2. Checked his swing, but they said he went around and there was no appeal needed. Home plate umpire David Ewell rung him up saying he went on the swing, and Nick Mingione is looking at the home plate umpire saying, hey, can you ask for help next time?
Yeah.
You see that every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to do it all yourself. Just get on.
Center fielder Jason. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Darren. Usually the umpires agree on that call, but sometimes they don't.
Jace Tarnish, the center fielder, the next hitter up. First pitch swinging and a high, slow chop to the left of the infield. Big bounder taken by Mansour, the shortstop, and he'll just hang on to the baseball. Tarnish with so much speed, Coach. He's one of those green runners that, well, coaches describe as a green runner. You have one small window to make a play. Otherwise, just hang on to the ball and live to fight another pitch.
That's right. When I saw the shortstop, Mansour, approach that ball, I thought he's got a chance to get him, and I looked up and he beat that. I mean, he was going to beat it by 3 steps, so he just hung on to it.
It's an infield single for Tarnish and his 4th hit in his last 7 at bats going back to Tuesday against the Hilltoppers. Here is Hudson Brown, left-handed batter, and he takes outside. His swing right now is red hot, batting .483 through 8 games. He's 14 for 29, 5 doubles, 5 RBIs, and Coach, you and I talk about it all the time. With his upper body strength, the home runs are coming.
That's right. And right now he's hitting the ball hard to all fields.
1-0, well outside. They're keeping an eye on Tarnish. Kentucky's run game, always a threat under Nick Mingione. They've already stolen 31 bases on 34 attempts.
thing I like about Hudson Brown is he doesn't get pull happy. You know, if they pitch him away, he's going to hit it hard to left field.
They do shade the infield as the offering home is fouled straight back. He just missed that curveball that hung a little bit over the plate.
He took a healthy hack at that one. He's a big kid, like you said, with a lot of strength in his upper body. 6'6", 230, I think. But he's a strong young man.
Throw over, and Tarnish dives back safe. They have the second baseman, Fry, really shaded towards the first base line, with the shortstop playing truly up the middle towards center, and the third baseman's got halfway between second and third. 2-1 on Brown, another offering to first, and Tarnish just got back with the right hand on the base.
One of the things about the running game that's so good for Kentucky is that the pitchers have to focus a lot on it, and that takes a little bit away from their focus on getting the hitter out. They're worried about the base runner, and they've still got a hitter up there to face. So that's a great thing about teams that run.
3 straight pickoff attempts have been unsuccessful, and Tarnish still has a healthy lead at first. 2-1, fouled into the screen. It's a fastball. And 2-2 on Hudson Brown. 6'6", 230-pound sophomore out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. He finished last year on a tear, come up with some huge hits in that Clemson Regional, and it's carried over to the start of this season. 1 on, 2 out, bottom of the first. Runners off. The pitch taken in. Throw down to the bag is a short hop, and it's taken by Mansour, but no time to tag Tarnish. Stolen base for Jace.
That was a tough pitch for Agresti to handle back there behind the plate. He really didn't have a chance to make an accurate throw at second base on time.
8th stolen base for Tarnish. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Brown with 2 away. And the pitch home. That's a line shot towards the shortstop, who is tilted to the right. He'll backpedal to play the hop and then dispatch of Brown on the throw to first. So St. John's had the infield aligned right where they needed to, and O'Leary makes the pitch that he needs to. And sends this game to the second inning scoreless on the UK Sports Network. Off of the Red Storm. He's in shadow, Jelkin in sunlight. First pitch right on right, and that one knifes across the outer half of the dish for a strike. McMillan, a sophomore, hitting .222, 6 for 27. The Red Storm were at Arizona State this past weekend. Dropped all 3 games of the series. Grounder backhanded by Hindle towards second base, and the Kentucky second baseman dispatches of McMillan on the throw to first. Nice little sliding backhand stop there by Hindle.
Nice play.
Brings up Dylan Fitzsimmons, the right fielder. A freshman who's gotten off to a .435 average across 7 games, 10 for 23, 2 doubles.
That's impressive, especially playing on the road against very good competition.
Swings a left-handed bat. First pitch is sliced foul, so obviously he attacks aggressively.
Yeah, first pitch swinging. So now the hitters not only have to worry about fastball, sliders, changeups, they have to worry about the shadow that's between home plate and the pitcher's mound.
0-1. Mrs. Law, I was just about to ask you about that, the challenge of seeing the ball leave Jelkin's hand in the sun, and by the time it gets to you, that shadow hides it.
It really does. It's a tough thing for hitters to adjust to.
It'll be a 1-1.
Especially
fastball
when the ball's
strike.
traveling 94, 95 miles an hour. That's a tough adjustment for a hitter.
And at your chest.
Yes.
That was letter high. One-two to Fitzsimmons, and he missed away that time. Not by much, though. Tried to sneak that one through the outer edge. Two. Waved over, strike 3. 2 Ks already for Jelkin.
Darren, I was just thinking that Jelkin's he's made a really nice transition from first base coach last year to Friday night starter this year. He was injured last year, of course. He just had to be a part of the game, so he coached first base.
Aiden Fry, the second baseman, will stand in from the right side. A junior hitting .250, first pitch swinging. He pops that one up and out of play to the first base side. Coach.
Yeah, both pitchers throwing a lot of strikes to start this game.
Looks like a Friday night ball game here. What we'll see in the SEC. The 0-1. That's on the outside corner. Boy, if Jelkin's getting that pitch, look out.
Locating that slider makes that mid to high 90s fastball even better.
So it's quickly 0-2 to Fry. Jelkin kicks and fires and misses up at 96. 6'5", 200 pounds. Jelkin out of Omaha, Nebraska. He transferred to Kentucky from Houston. 1-2. Just away with 95.
Wow, that was a good-looking pitch.
It was. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fry.
You know, we miss a few up here. We're a little distant from home plate, but that looked good.
Up and away.
Yeah, that looked good from here.
2-2. A soft tapper towards third. Cerny fields on the third hop. Had a little trouble getting it out of his glove, but he's able to fire across the diamond in plenty of time to get Aiden Fry in the side retired. It's 3 up, 3 down for Jackson Jelkin. 3 up, 3 downs presented by Lexus of Lexington, the relentless pursuit of perfection. On to the bottom of the second. No score on the UK Sports Network.
Want to celebrate your Junior Wildcats birthday at Kentucky Brown Park? UK Baseball is now sending reservations to host your party here at the ball game. Visit the promo zone on the main concourse for more information. Leading off the bottom of the second inning for Kentucky, the third baseman number 2, Tyler Cerny. Next up for the Wildcats, the right fielder number 25, Ryan Schwartz. Now stepping to the plate for the Cats, the catcher number 29, Owen Jenkins.
It's bigger than that. One, two. Line shot deep right, but Fitzsimmons is there to make the catch. That was a smoked line drive, but again, it's an atom ball, and the right fielder didn't have to move very much to his right to make that catch.
Yeah, you won't see many balls hit harder than that this evening. That ball was smoked.
Brings up the designated hitter, Carson Hansen.
Carson's trying to get in a groove after missing the first several games from an injury.
Hitting .222. He's 2 for 9 across 3 games. This is only his 3rd start. Yeah, he watches strike one, a curveball from O'Leary. It's a busy weekend for UK athletics right here along Alumni Drive. Softball and baseball both in action. Swing and a miss by Hansen, 0-2. Cats with a 1-0 lead thanks to the leadoff home run by Tyler Cerny. The 0-2 outside. We've got men's basketball tomorrow, big home game at Rupp. And then the women's regular season finale against South Carolina on Sunday at historic Memorial Coliseum is sold out.
Wow.
1-2, down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's a 2 o'clock tip-off Sunday. It will be the 5th top 5 team that Kentucky women's basketball has played in the SEC alone.
Wow. What a great league for women's basketball.
Yeah. The Gamecocks, number 3 in the country. Curveball misses into turf. 3-2 now on Hanson.
Darren, earlier in the game, you were talking about how St. John's has a great baseball tradition. I remember playing them in the regionals in 1988.
Pitch home, and Hanson takes strike 3 at the knees.
I'll finish that story when we come back.
I thought it was ball 4, but O'Leary snuck that one by him right at the knees, and that'll send this game to the 3rd. A home run by Tyler Cerny has Kentucky on the board first, 1-0, as we go to the 3rd on the UK Sports Network. I don't think they were very happy with the strike call at the end of the bottom of the 2nd inning, but I'm not sure that there was no ejections. I don't think anything come of it, but there was a little discussion after the inning was over. Adam Agresti leads off the top of the 3rd for St. John's. Right-handed hitting catcher, and he faces Jackson Jelkin. Pitch home, swung on, grounded softly to 3rd. Cerny fields, throws across the diamond corner to corner, and retires Agresti.
Well, Jelkin got that pitch right on Agresti's hands. And he just kind of fisted the ball out to 3rd base.
Here's Rob Mansour. Shortstop hitting 182. He's 4 for 22 across 7 games. Jelkin rocks and fires and starts him with a fastball strike at 95. We did get confirmation someone in that Kentucky dugout was warned between innings. 0-1. Fastball in the inside corner, slightly off, 1-1. It was a good-looking pitch from Jelkin, but it was in.
Why can't coaches give umpires warnings?
I'm not going down that road. 1-1. Grounded weakly to the 2nd baseman Hindle. He scoops and throws 2 away.
And why don't umpires attend press conferences and answer questions?
I'm not going down that road. I'm staying on the highway, Coach.
I will say.
But I'm not going. Yeah, let's just move on. What were you about to say?
I will say these umpires, man, they love the game just like the players and the coaches do. And
Jelkin misses in on tape.
And they are passionate about what they do.
Sure.
And they work hard. So I'm just joking when I say that kind of stuff.
Jack
halfway
oh.
joking.
Fastball knifes over the outer half. Strike on Jack Tate. It's 1-1 with 2 away. Designated hitter, sophomore, batting .250, 2 for 8.
Boy, Jelkin's command has been impressive in this game so far.
The 1-1 tapped foul. Well, in terms of the, and this has nothing to do with our game today or this umpiring crew, but in Major League Baseball, the big storyline in spring training has been the use of the ABS system where the players can challenge the strike and ball call. 1-2 swing and a miss by Tate, and that's a quick 3-up, 3-down for Jelkin as Tate becomes the third strikeout victim of Jackson Jelkin. We go to the bottom of the third here in Lexington, Kentucky with a 1-0 lead on the UK Sports Network. He's from Macon, Georgia. Last year played for the USC Upstate Spartans, who made that Clemson Regional. And I'll be honest with you, Coach, very impressed with Campbell's play for the Spartans when he went up against the Wildcats last year in the regional.
Yeah, he had a good regional.
First pitch popped up. This one drifts into very, very shallow right center, and now the second baseman with his steps coming back towards the infield cutout makes the catch. And Campbell pops out to Fry, the second baseman, one away. One thing about the two pitchers we have watched so far this afternoon, Jelkin and O'Leary, is they're not missing a ton of bats, but they're getting that weak contact, which is what a pitcher's hunting anyway.
That's right. And they both pitchers have been in good rhythm, throwing a lot of strikes.
So here's Hindle, who struck out looking his first time up. He shows bunt and then takes an off-speed strike.
And that's what you would expect from a Friday night starter in Division I baseball.
O'Leary, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, pitched at Lackawanna Community College and helped Lackawanna to an outstanding season. Here's the 0-1. Grounded towards third, a big hop, and that's played, they say foul. Rafe Stenger touched that baseball, but it appeared to be close to the line. Both third base and home plate umpires ruled foul immediately, so that was just one of those borderline plays. But a risk by Rafe Stenger there to touch the baseball that close to the line.
Yeah, it was.
It's a foul ball, though, 0-2 on Ethan Hindle.
Hindle leading the team in RBI from the leadoff position.
He's been moved around a little bit as Coach Mingione has experimented with some different lineups. 0-2. Got him on the outside corner with a fastball, strike three.
I know Leary gave up the home run to center field, but other than that, his command has really been outstanding. I like what I see from that young man. He doesn't have the velocity that Jelkin has, but he has great command.
I was about to say he's got a command. Here's Luke Lawrence. First pitch swinging, sends one to deep left towards the line. Rodriguez near the warning track slows, and he's there to make the two-hand squeeze. And Lawrence flies out to the left field corner, and the Wildcats are turned away 1-2-3. So we've played 3 innings at Kentucky Proud Park. The Cats lead the Storm 1-0 on the UK Sports Network. Up, Kroger, fresh for everyone. Luis Rodriguez, John LeGrande, and Jader Rafestanger lead off this inning against Jelkin. First pitch, fastball, rides up and in.
And Jelkin stumbled on the mound a little bit that time. Didn't have the velocity on his fastball that he normally does, and let that fastball get away from him.
Cerny at third base, creeping in a step. 1-0 to Rodriguez, chopped towards that way, but a foul ball. Just got a piece of a fastball riding at 94. The shadows have crept all the way to the pitching mound, but Jelkin is still in sunlight from the knees up. 1-1. Popped up to the right side. Drifting out goes Hindle. Long run in for Schwartz, and Hindle makes a backpedaling catch, reaching back over his glove left shoulder. It's a tough play.
That's a tough play, yeah. It's a long run from right field, so he had to take charge.
That'll bring up John LeGrande. LeGrande flied to left his first time up. First pitch offering. Off speed, a little tall. Might have been out. One-0 from Jelkin. That one was up the ladder. Fastball at 94. Got a little ahead of himself.
He's not throwing quite as hard as we've seen him throw earlier this season.
2-0's up and away. 3 balls, no strikes.
But he still has excellent velocity.
So 3-0 to LeGrande, and the pitch outside. That is a 4-pitch walk in the first base runner for the Red Storm. That's the first walk for either team today, and that's something we talked with Coach Mingione about on the pregame show. Was St. John's doesn't really strike out a ton of batters in the box score, but they don't walk guys either.
Yeah. Pitch to contact.
Here's Jader Ravestanger. Runner goes first pitch, collected by Owen Jenkins. Throw down. Did he come off the bag? No, he's safe. He overslid it, but he somehow kept that left leg on the bag.
Yeah, we were talking about the Wildcats' speed on the bases, and it looks like St. John's has a little bit of that too. St.
John's now 10 of 14 in stolen base attempts, and LaGrande 6 of 8. 1-0 on Ravestanger in the pitch. Line in the left. That'll be played on a bounce by Campbell, who had a tough time reading that ball with the sun in his eyes. The throw comes back into the infield, and LaGrande is held at third. So it's a single to left by Ravestanger, and the Red Storm have something cooking here, trailing 1-0 in the fourth. And it looked like Campbell had a tough time reading that liner with the sun in his eyes.
Yeah, this is a tough time of day for left, especially the left fielder in this ballpark. We've seen over the years several misplays in left field with the sun shining like it is today.
That'll bring up Sean McMillan and a visit to the mound from pitching coach Dan Roselle. Well, for the Wildcats, if you can get Jackson Jelkin settled back in, he's gotten the pitch to contact, he's gotten some weak grounders. You have a chance here to turn a double play.
Yeah, he's probably going to be going with that two-seamer and slider and try to get a double play in this situation. With Coach Roselle out there, I was just thinking about what a great job he's done with this pitching staff over the last few years. He has worked extremely hard, and he's dedicated to those guys. He believes in them, and they believe in Coach Roselle.
That's right. You see the job that he's done bringing guys in from the high school ranks, from the portal. We were talking about that a couple of innings ago, the job they've done of scouting talent. St. John's looking to tie or better the score right now. They have first and third, one out in the fourth. And McMillan, who grounded out to second at the plate. First pitch from Jelkin. And that's a good pitch on the outside corner, curveball strike. Boy, if he lands that on the outside corner as a hitter, what do you do?
Man, that's a beautiful pitch.
Here's the 0-1. Grounded towards third, a big hop foul.
And you got the fastball coming in after seeing the breaking ball away.
Now let's see. He's got changeup, cutter, slider, splitter. What do they pick?
I'm going heat up and out of the zone.
It'll be an 0-2. High chop towards short. Lawrence Gloves touches the bag at second. On to first, double play, inning over. Jelkin makes the pitch, and the Kentucky defense turns two behind him. Jelkin and the Wildcats are fired up as they go to the dugout. We go to the bottom of the fourth at Kentucky Proud Park. 1-0 Cats on the UK Sports Network.
The Cats are back home tomorrow, February 28th, against St. John's for Game 2 of the League Series. First pitch is scheduled for 1 p.m. Tickets are available at UKBaseballTix.com.
NCAA regionals up in Bristol, Connecticut. Not Bristol, New Haven. I think that's the name of the town. And,
yeah, New Haven, Connecticut.
And you know, every coach has a different style, and I always tried to keep my dugout quiet. And I'll finish the story after this pitch.
First pitch to Tarnish. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. And Jace is aboard for a second time today.
Boy, Tarnish has been red hot. So the St. John's team under Coach Joe Russo, you know, they're from New York City, man. Most of those kids are from New York, and they've got it going in the dugout, and they're wearing us out. And so one of my players comes up to me, he says, "Coach, you gotta let us respond." He said, "They're wearing us out over there." And I said, "Hey, these kids are they're from the Bronx, they're from the Queens. You're not going to beat them in a verbal war. You got to beat them on the field."
That's right. Here's Hudson Brown, who grounded to short his first time up. A liner that turned into a big hopper. Throw to first, and Tarnish scampers back, and that one nearly sailed over McMillan's reach at first base. Tarnish would have easily had second. And you look up and down the roster for St. John's, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. They do have a player from California. Offering to Brown, taken for a strike. Looked like a breaking ball from O'Leary.
Well, St. John's has had a great program throughout the years. Jack Kaiser, former baseball coach, basketball coach, athletic director at St. John's. Just a tremendous person. I love getting to know him. We served on the ABC board together.
The 0-1, taken for strike two.
And then I mentioned Joe Russo, who coached against us. He was a good coach, and Ed Blankmeyer was a fantastic coach. They've had some really good ones, and a lot of good players come through that program.
Several Big East championships, including 2024. The 0-2, outside. Tried to bring that one back over the plate.
Most Wildcat fans think of St. John's in basketball.
Yeah.
Especially now that Rick Pitino's
That's
there.
right. Now the old Big East.
Boy, they used to be a dynamo in basketball back in the day.
Well, you think about the Big East in baseball. St. John's, Connecticut, UConn had a great run last year in the postseason.
Yeah, they're still good.
One ball, two strikes on Hudson Brown. Throw to first, and Tarnish dives back.
Just like last time, they're keeping a close eye on Jace Tarnish at first base because they know he can fly.
Cats lead 1-0, bottom of the fourth, nobody out. Looking to add to that tally. O'Leary from the stretch comes home, runner goes, swing, and a foul. It pops off the glove. A foul ball off the glove of the catcher, and now they're going to tell Tarnish to go back to first. So they tried to get the foul tip strike, but Agresti couldn't hang on to it, and it's 1-2.
He had that base stolen.
Yeah, he did. And Hudson Brown, it feels like he's a breath away from a big hit every time he's up.
I agree.
He's hit well above average early in the season. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Leary, half of his attention is on Tarnish at first base. The 1-2. Brown takes up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was a curveball that just never came back.
That's right. Just hung outside. You don't want to hang that thing out over the plate with Brown up there.
No. They set up towards the inside. Runner goes, swing, and a high fly ball. This one hammered to straightaway center, LaGrande at the warning track jumps and makes the catch in front of the 400-foot marker. That'll chase Tarnish back to first. And Hudson Brown just missed another round tripper to the batter's eye in center as LaGrande caught that one at the wall.
He needs to eat another biscuit for breakfast here. That ball was hammered, but just not enough. Both of those balls, the one that was hit for a home run early in the game and that one, both at the deepest part of the ballpark.
So one away for Tyler Cerny, and he has Tarnish at first. And the Red Storm will tilt the infield to Cerny's pull side, so the second baseman will play up the middle. That creates a wide hole on the right side of the diamond. First pitch, and it's up and in. Fastball.
I wonder what our friend Doug Flynn, who played second base for the Mets up in New York, I wonder what he would think about this alignment with one out. Because the shortstop's not going to be able to get to the bag, is he?
It's going to be hard in a double play opportunity. Throw to first, chases Tarnish back. But I'm just thinking about, even with the right fielder Fitzsimmons playing so far off the line, he's almost to right center. If Cerny could somehow just rope a routine grounder through that right side, Tarnish may score from first.
That's a big hole over there.
He's going to be to third easily, but Cerny's got to do that. Runner goes, pitch taken high, throw down to the bag, pulls the second baseman to the short side, and no chance to tag Tarnish. Second stolen base for Jace Tarnish.
Yeah, with Tarnish running, you have to make a perfect throw, and it's got to be on the bag or on the second base side of the bag in order to get him, because he can really, really run.
So 2 balls, no strikes on Cerny now, and they go back to more of a true infield alignment. There's still a tilt to it. Here's a swing and a drive to the left. Having trouble with it is Rodriguez. It'll be over his head and off the wall. Tarnish rounds third. He's going to come in to score. Trading places at second is Tyler Cerny, and it's 2-0 Wildcats. Actually, it's 2-0 Tyler Cerny at this point.
I don't think Rodriguez would have made that play anyway, but he is really battling that sun out there right now, Darren.
That must be bad, because Campbell had trouble on a line drive too, trying to measure it up.
Because that ball was really smoked to left field and got to that wall in a hurry.
A little bit more height might have cleared, but
oh yeah,
take it. And here's Ryan Schwartz, who flied to center his first time up. 2-0 Wildcats, bottom of the fourth. O'Leary set at the belt, first base side, and his pitch. Swung on and grounded left side. That's backhanded deep in the hole by Mansour, and his throw to first just in time to get Schwartz. It was a bouncer to the first baseman, McMillan.
Well, he had to go a long way to his right for that ball, and it takes a lot of arm strength to get it there. He was wise, throwing it down on that turf and getting the hop. Sort of the Dave Concepcion play. Just hop it off the turf.
Kentucky will not challenge the bang-bang call. So Schwartz grounds to short. Here's Owen Jenkins. Flied to right his first time up.
That's where that turf helps infielders. That's the artificial turf, I should say.
That's right. It plays pretty true at Kentucky Proud Park. Cerny at second. First pitch to Jenkins. Misses in the turf, and a nice stop by Agresti to his right.
But having said all that, that was still a very nice play by Mansour.
One-0. Low. 2 balls, no strikes. Jenkins levels the bat from the right side. O'Leary delivers, and that one knifes across the inside, half elevated. Fastball strike makes it 2-1.
Good fastball right under Jenkins' hands.
O'Leary's an experienced hurler Coach, but the one thing that's impressed me, he's not afraid to go inside on these hitters. 2-1, missed away. Oh, called a strike. That looked outside, but it's 2-2.
And that's tough on the hitter right there because he gets the call strike right under his hands, and then he throws one a little bit outside, and he gets that one. And Jenkins is probably thinking, ooh.
Yeah, that looked about 2 balls off the corner, but it was called a strike, so the count's 2-2. And the pitch in the turf.
But also you have to tip your cap to O'Leary because he made 2 excellent pitches there. And tried to get Jenkins on that to swing on that ball in the below the zone right there. He's got a good idea out there on the mound. I like the way he pitches.
It's 3-2 with Cerny at second and 2 away. And the pitch chopped, foul, third base side of home. Nice job just to spoil that one.
That's what you want to see hitters do with 2 strikes. Fight it off and give the pitcher a chance to make a mistake.
Two outs, bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Kentucky, and the 3-2 is hammered deep to right, but that slices out of play. It's a foul ball. It's a good at bat here. Good battle between O'Leary and Jenkins. O'Leary is approaching 50 pitches. He and Jackson Jelkin have both been uber efficient in this game. It'll be another 3-2, and Jenkins sends a liner right at the second baseman Fry, who drops to a knee to make the catch, and the side retired. Kentucky gets a run across on an RBI double by Cerny, but nothing else. We go to the fifth, 2-0 Cats on the UK Sports Network. Fitzsimmons struck out swinging his first time up. Get another crack at Jelkin to lead off the fifth inning here. Big right-hander from the first base side, kicks and deals, and that's a strike. Fastball on the outer edge.
Darren, this is an exciting time of year in college athletics. You've got men's and women's basketball finishing up. You got baseball starting, tournaments just ahead.
0-1, low and in.
And you're doing double duty.
Yeah, crossover season. I was at Auburn last night with women's basketball. I've got baseball today and tomorrow, and then back with the women's team Sunday, and then we go to the SEC tournament next week. 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, shot off the leg of Jelkin, it looked like. Collected behind him by the shortstop, Lawrence, who makes the throw, and Hudson Brown stretching out at first, finishes the play, and it's a ground out to start the inning.
And give Jelkin an assist on that because he slowed it down just enough to make the play, I think. But talking about your travel schedule, it makes me tired thinking about it. But see, you're a young man. You can do that.
Well, not getting any younger. Yeah, we had an interesting flight home from Auburn last night, flying through some severe weather in Alabama and Georgia. Not fun. Aiden Fry, the batter, first pitch grounded up the right side foul. And nothing to say negative about the flight or the crew. It was great. We have some great companies that charter us wherever we need to go in basketball. But it was a roller coaster coming back to Lexington last night. 0-1. Called a strike. There might have been a moment for 2 minutes, Coach, where I'd wished I was on a bus.
I understand.
But part of the life, right?
Yeah.
You can't complain too much when you're on a charter plane.
That's true.
Here's the 0-2. Got him swinging. Excellent pitch. Slicing to that outer edge away from the right-handed hitting Fry.
That might have been a cutter there. It was a nice pitch.
Yeah, had a lot of sweep to it. So 2 down, and here's Adam Agresti. And I certainly am not going to complain about flights when I'm around a baseball team like St. John's that has had all kinds of travel issues because of the blizzard in the Northeast. Here's the pitch, and Agresti, first pitch swinging, offers a foul out of play. They got stuck in Tempe for 2 extra days and then flew to Nashville, practiced at Vanderbilt's facilities, and then bust here to Lexington. They'll bust to Penn State after this weekend series. Here's the 0-1. Down and away. And I remember Nick McKay last year when he was pitching for Kentucky talking about his previous school and how they would go on like a 17-day long road trip, and it was by bus.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back. And that, I mean, people say, well, that's like pro baseball. No, pro baseball doesn't have those kind of trips.
Yeah, the longest bus trip I had in pro ball was from Watertown, South Dakota to Duluth, Minnesota. That's a haul.
Yeah, that's a haul. I think here's the 1-2. Agresti with a weak grounder to the right, played by Hindle, and he throws to first to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Jackson Jelkin, presented by Lexus of Lexington, the relentless pursuit of perfection. On to the bottom of the 5th. Cats with a 2-0 lead over the Red Storm. This is the UK Sports Network. Darren Hedrick and Keith Madison with you from Kentucky Proud Park. Mo Robinson producing for us on the UK Sports Network as we simulcast on radio and the SEC Plus stream this afternoon. Carson Hansen leads off the 5th for the Wildcats. He struck out looking his first time up against O'Leary. The right-hander for the Red Storm kicks and deals, and Hansen bunts through. It's a foul ball off the bunt attempt, 0-1. We'd like to thank our season-long Kentucky baseball sponsors, Coca-Cola, the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, and Lexus of Lexington. 0-1 the count on Hanson. And O'Leary delivers upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Hanson takes low and away, ball 2. It's a beautiful afternoon for baseball. Just think, Coach, in a couple of months we'll have these sunny skies and it'll be 75, 80 degrees, a little humidity. 2-1, swing and a miss.
I'll look forward to those days.
Kentucky will open SEC play against Alabama. That is 2 weeks away. They'll have a non-conference series next weekend, and then the Crimson Tide come to town. Another tough year in the SEC coming up, a grind. Here's the 2-2 upstairs, but that's what appeals to these players. By the way, Kentucky will play the Citadel next weekend, and then Alabama comes. Alabama, Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri, Auburn. Here's a swing, ground ball. That squeezes through a hole right side into right center, and Hanson's aboard with a base knock.
They had his shift on for him, and he still squeezed it through the shift.
Coach, I've been wanting to ask you about the SEC schedule. Put on your old coach's hat for me. Right now it's a 10-week schedule, 30 games, but you have 16 teams in the league now with Texas and Oklahoma coming on. I don't fault any coach that says don't expand it beyond 10 weeks. 30 games in this league's hard enough. So I don't fault that at all. But what's the best way to do this where, you know, a team like Kentucky sees everybody at least once in 2, 3, 4 years as Campbell looks at a strike, it's 0-1. That, I think, is the biggest puzzle to solve because the way it's done right now with divisions gone, Kentucky doesn't play one of their longtime rivals this year in Georgia. They didn't play Florida last year.
Yeah, that's a good
0-1.
question.
Popped up with a runner in motion, scrambling back towards first. As the second baseman, Fry, makes the catch, Hanson's able to retreat to first, and Campbell pops out as Hanson goes back to first.
It's such a great league, and you want your athletes to experience Arkansas, Texas. You want them to experience LSU, Mississippi State, but the league has gotten so big, and all the teams are very, very good.
Right.
But there's just going to have to be, excuse me, certain teams that you're not going to get to see. But I think 30 SEC games, that's plenty.
Here's Ethan Hindle, who has struck out twice against O'Leary. First pitch grounded to third. They'll go to second. No! They tried to go to second for one, but the second baseman, Fry, could not field the throw cleanly as he was stretching out. And Kentucky's got 2 men on base as Hindle arrives at first.
Yeah, he had to stretch like a first baseman and just couldn't make that backhand pick.
It was a good idea by St. John's. They might have had a window to get to off that play, but couldn't turn it, couldn't field it.
Back to the schedule, I just remember how exhausted that I felt after each SEC series because you put everything into it. Every pitch is important. And then to do that, 32 times instead of 30 or 34 times.
Lawrence sends a liner deep left, but foul, 0-1.
It'd be grueling. It really would.
Yeah, I think 30 is a good number of games. I'd just like to find a way to preserve the longtime rivalries. Kentucky playing Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Texas, Texas A&M, Arkansas, however you want to do the combinations. But there's not an easy answer. Here's the 0-1. Lined into left. That's going to drop for a base hit. Hanson had to hold at second to make sure that throw or that wasn't caught in left. And so Luke Lawrence with a single to left loads the bases. Hindle into second. And here's Tarnish, who's 2 for 2.
We haven't seen this many base runners in this game, I don't believe, Darren.
St. John's had 2 in the 4th inning. Kentucky's got 3 with 1 out here in the 5th, leading 2-0. And Tarnish, who's 2 for 2 against O'Leary, will stand in from the right side. Now, if you're Kentucky, the offense could be wide open here. It looks like we may have a visit. Yeah, time's been called by the St. John's dugout, and we'll have a visit to the mound here because the offense is wide open for Kentucky. Now, you might think bases loaded, 1 out, we're going to see some swings, but that's when Kentucky will all of a sudden lay down a bunt, and then chaos happens with the defense.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you want to try to stay out of the double play.
Right.
But, you know, if you're a hitter, you want an opportunity to swing it. But Nick Mingione has done such a great job of promoting this offense to his team. They have fun with it.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they'll bunt in any situation. They run like crazy. They're constantly putting pressure on the defense. So I think Nick Mingione has become one of the best coaches in the country in terms of putting together an offense that is chaotic for the opposition.
Tonight's game is presented by BBN United. If you want even more access to exclusive Wildcat experiences, unique merchandise, and elevated access, sign up for a BBN United membership today. Unlock special members-only perks and help build the future of UK athletics. Visit bbnunited.com today. So here's Tarnish with the bases loaded. Hanson at third, Hindle at second, and Lawrence at first. And the first pitch goes well away and in the turf, smothered by Agresti.
But, you know, a bunt on the right side here wouldn't surprise me at all with this coaching staff.
Pitch home in the turf, ball 2, and the third baseman, Rafe Stenger, is feeling the same pressure as he plays even with the bag. He's expecting the bunt. And the first baseman, McMillan, plays way in off the bag.
You have tremendous speed with Tarnish.
2-0. He swings, ground ball up the middle. That's gloved by the shortstop. Shovel to second for 1. On to first, not in time for Tarnish. Hanson scores. Hindle to third, and it's 3-0 Kentucky.
Tarnish is a tough guy to double up. That was a tough double play ball anyway, but with Tarnish running down the first baseline, it makes it incredibly tough.
So the Wildcats scratch across another run, and here's Hudson Brown with men at the corners and 2 away. Brown is grounded to short and flied to the wall in center. And they shift him to pull with the third baseman, the only one on the left side of the diamond. O'Leary's first pitch, and Brown takes a breaking ball low. That looked like a good pitch.
Yeah, it was a good pitch. But O'Leary may be tiring just a little bit. It's getting in that part of the game, and it's early in the season.
This will be his 70th pitch of the outing, 1-0. Outside 2-0, and there is activity beginning in that Red Storm bullpen. A right-hander starting to throw. Kentucky has out-hit St. John's 6-1. They lead 3-0, looking for that big mash that breaks the game open.
Yeah.
O'Leary's trying to escape with 2 away. The 2-0 to Brown. That's a strike. Good inside pitch.
Well, look at the room they're giving Hudson Brown down the right field line there, Darren. It's wide open. If he could pour one.
Just got to get it over the first and second baseman. Here's the 2-1 from O'Leary, and it's swung on and fouled straight back. There was the fastball he was hunting. He just missed it.
Earlier in the game, they did not have this shift on Brown. But in this part of the game, they've chosen to move the shortstop almost directly behind second base.
The 2-2 in the turf, ball 3. And you've got Cerny, who's doubled and homered off O'Leary, waiting on deck. Hindle at third base. Tarnish with a lot of speed at first. 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond for the Johnnies. And the 3-2. Outside ball 4. It'll load the bases for Cerny. Believe it or not, that is the first walk issued to a Wildcat hitter. So here's Cerny. How about a triple right here? He's got the home run and a double.
Yeah. You're already thinking ahead, aren't you? You're already thinking cycle.
First pitch. A wide strike with a fastball to the outer edge. Set at the belt, O'Leary kicks and deals. High fly ball, right field. Sashaying back goes Fitzsimmons, slowing in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Kentucky loaded the bases looking for that big inning, but O'Leary and the Red Storm refused to break. Wildcats scratch across a run. They lead 3-0 through 5 here at Kentucky Proud Park on the UK Sports Network. Visit bbnunited.com. First pitch to Agresti, grounded weakly left side, played on a big hop by Cerny and a quick toss corner to corner. Dispatches, beg your pardon, that's not Agresti, it's Mansour. Here's Jack Tate. Tate struck out swinging his first time up. We haven't really had a chance to go through the SEC schedule for this weekend. Games around college baseball, first offering, and Tate takes high for a ball. Earlier today, down in Arlington, Texas, in one of those showcase events, number 4 Mississippi State doubled up Arizona State 8-4, 1-0. Swing and a miss. That's an impressive win for Mississippi State. The Sun Devils had gotten off to an 8-1 start this year.
I've been following them. They've been playing really well.
1-1. And Tate swings and misses. Ball and 2 strikes.
2 great programs there, traditional programs.
Number 11, Georgia at home, opening a series against Oakland. The Bulldogs trying to bounce back from a tough midweek loss in extra innings. They lead Oakland 13-5 in the top of the 7th. 1-2. Got him on the outside corner. Painted a beautiful picture for strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Jelkin this afternoon, and with 2 away, it's the top of the order in Luis Rodriguez. Top of the 5th inning down in Arlington. Number 20 Tennessee trails number 1 UCLA 5-0. Man, the Bruins have looked strong early this season.
They're a very talented club.
First pitch to Rodriguez, swung on and missed.
And a veteran club.
Yeah.
With a lot of guys returning.
Here's an interesting score. And after number 6 Arkansas was blown out by Arkansas State on Tuesday night, they trail UT Arlington 4-0 in the top of the 6th inning in Fayetteville.
One of the things I've noticed about the Razorbacks is they're not scoring many runs this spring.
Bouncer foul in the batter's box, 0-2 on Rodriguez. And Baylor has a 1-0 lead on number 25 Ole Miss, bottom of the first. That game is being played in Houston at the Astros ballpark. Used to be Minute Maid Park. I don't know what they call it these days. Dakin Park or something. It's got a different name. Dakin, the 0-2. On the outside corner again with a breaking ball. And Jackson Jelkin retires the Red Storm 1-2-3. He has retired them in order in 5 of the 6 innings this afternoon. Cats with a 3-0 lead going to the bottom of the 6th on the UK Sports Network. He's had a big game for the Cats at the plate, a double and a home run, 2 RBIs. And Jace Tarnish has been aboard all 3 times. Officially 2 for 3 with an RBI. Schwartz looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He's flied to center and grounded to short. O'Leary still in the ball game for St. John's, 76 pitches thrown. Right-hander rocks and fires, and Schwartz takes a strike. Breaking ball in that outside corner. Oh, 1. And that one missed the mark, crossed his catcher up too.
Beautiful February day for Lexington. It's just, you know, a good crowd for a February game.
Can you believe Sunday is March 1st?
Oh, it's hard to believe. It's getting here quick.
1-1. Taken low and outside. Kentucky's become more patient in these recent innings.
They've been a fairly patient club at the plate throughout the early part of the season.
The 2-1. Popped up. Right field. Out goes McMillan and Fry. On comes Fitzsimmons. They argue over it, and the first baseman, McMillan, makes the catch in medium right. So 1 away in the 6th inning for Owen Jenkins. He is flied to right and lined out to second base. Tomorrow's game, a 1 o'clock start. We'll be on the air at 12:45 with our pregame coverage. Pitch home. Jenkins takes in the turf. Sunday's game, the series finale, also a 1 o'clock first pitch. The 1-0. Knee-high strike. O'Leary fires a fastball wide, 2-1.
Darren, I think O'Leary's going to have a big year for the Johnnies this spring. Once they start playing conference games, I think he's going to be the man.
2-1 sliced foul. He was certainly the man last year for Lackawanna Community College. Played or pitched in 83 innings and struck out 121 batters, helping them to the JUCO College World Series. 2-2. Under the hands, boy. Jenkins got lucky on that one. 3-2.
I love the way O'Leary works fast. I mean,
yeah,
he gets the ball, he gets on the mound, and he's ready to go.
Payoff pitch, chopped foul. O'Leary is from, I think you pronounce this Souderton, Pennsylvania, Souderton.
I'm not familiar with that town.
Jenkins with a grounder, hit hard towards the third baseman, almost ate him up. Rafe Stenger goes across the diamond and retires Jenkins. 2 away.
But the people in Souderton, Pennsylvania probably aren't familiar with Brownsville, Kentucky either.
It's a little town in eastern Pennsylvania. Pitch home. Carson Hansen takes high. Hansen watches a curveball outside, 2-0. This is up and out with the breaking ball.
This is Hansen's only 4th game with the Wildcats this spring. He's recovering from an injury, and I know he's excited to be back in that lineup.
Pitch home. There's a strike. We had a chance to have him on our Behind Kentucky Baseball podcast in the fall, and we talked to him about growing up and playing baseball in Wisconsin, being a big Brewers fan. The 3-1 in tight, ball 4. Only the second walk for Kentucky. 2 out in the 6th inning. They lead 3-0.
If you're in Wisconsin, you're probably a Brewers fan and a Packers fan.
Hansen started his collegiate career at Wisconsin-Milwaukee before coming to Lexington. And here is Scott Campbell Jr., who's 0 for 2 with a couple of pop-outs to second. Kentucky has done a great job of building a pipeline into that Midwest, Chicago, Milwaukee area. Ethan Hindle's from Delafield, Wisconsin. There's a first pitch strike to Campbell. And then you've got, from the Chicago area or region, Ryan Ritter, who starred here. You've got Nate Harris pitching for Kentucky. When he's healthy in the middle infield, Tyler Bell and Luke Lawrence. 0-1, dips low, 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm sure I'm leaving a name or two out from that area.
There's been some good ones come out of that Chicago area.
1-1, runners off. Pitch is in tight. It hit him. So Campbell awarded first base. And Hansen moves to second with 2 away here in the 6th. And the Cats have something brewing for Ethan Hindle. No team gets hit like the Kentucky Wildcats in terms of hit by pitches. That's the 27th time this year they've been hit by a pitch.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how patient they are at the plate, so they walk a lot and they get hit a lot. So that's one reason they've scored a lot of runs early in the season.
Hindle looks at a strike, and Campbell just absorbed his 8th bruise of the year, which ties him with Tyler Cerny for the most hit by pitches on the team. The 0-1, Hindle takes way outside. O'Leary is approaching 100 pitches. He's at 95, and there's a right-hander getting loose in the Red Storm bullpen. Hindle's 0 for 3. The pitch just off the outside corner. Infield playing back with 2 on and 2 out. 2-1. Runners are off. Pitch taken for a strike. Throw down to third, wide of the bag. Hauled in by Rafe Stanger, but everybody's safe. Double steal, and it's 2-2 on Hindle. Hanson to third. Campbell into second now. 3-0 Kentucky.
Well, this team loves to run.
Kentucky has 4 stolen bases in this game. Hanson dancing up the line. 2-2, low, full count on Hindle. Now O'Leary has rung up Hindle twice today. Struck him out looking on an outside the corner pitch. Let's see if they go back to that here at 3-2. The pitch. Line to short and caught on a leap by Mansour, and he robs Kentucky of 2 runs. That ball was scalded off the bat of Hindle, but what a great catch by Mansour at short for the Johnnies. And the St. John's Red Storm escape again. Kentucky settles for a 3-0 lead as we go to the 7th on the UK Sports Network. Jelkin on 68 pitches. Right-hander deals, and Legrande takes outside for a ball. He struck out 6 and walked 1 through 6 frames. 1-0. Up and away, ball 2. Legrande, as a matter of fact, is the only player to draw a walk for the Red Storm, and he was able to take a 4-pitch walk in the 4th inning. Leads off the 7th here. 2-0. Swung on and fouled back.
You just missed that one. Put a good swing on it.
Liam O'Leary for the Red Storm has kept his team in this game within shouting distance, trailing 3-0. Two-1 to Legrande. Fastball high.
This has been a very impressive outing for Jackson Jelkin. He's been on top of his game.
3-1. Swung on and fouled off of Jenkins, who absorbed the blow on that one, and our home plate umpire David Ewell will give Jenkins a minute to collect his whereabouts.
Jelkin's velocity hasn't been as good as it has been in some games earlier this season, but his command has been outstanding.
There is double barrel activity in the Kentucky bullpen. Looks like two right-handers. Full count on LeGrande, and the offering home is on the outer half. Off speed, strike three.
Well, that's the thing about Juckin. If you're thinking fastball and he comes in with that off speed, it can definitely put you back in the dugout, and that's what happened just there.
He has now struck out 7 on the game and 3 in a row. Here's Jader Rafestinger. First offering to him. That's an elevated strike. Looked like maybe the two-seamer there.
He's filling that zone up, isn't he?
0-1. Fouled away. Or fouled down, rather.
Well, Darren, I've heard from a former player in North Carolina, and I've heard from a nephew in Myrtle Beach. So.
Oh. On the beach.
Yep. Well, he lives there.
Oh, okay.
That's like cheating.
Yeah. Come on now. Here's the 0-2. In the air to left. Wind pushing this one towards the line. Campbell on the go, battling the sun. Makes the catch as he strides crossing the foul ground. We'll call that deep medium left field. That ball, the wind has picked up a little bit in the last inning or so, and that ball had a fade to it to begin with. Campbell with a nice job battling the sun to make that catch, 2 away.
Yeah, he was battling the sun and the wind out there. He made a nice play there. I couldn't tell if his sunglasses were on his cap or on his or shading his eyes. I couldn't tell, but somehow he fought it off and made the play.
McMillan first pitch swinging, grounder left side of the infield, collected by Cerny, the third baseman, and he throws across the diamond to end the inning. That's 3 up, 3 down for Jelkin. 7 complete on 1 hit. This 3 up, 3 down frame brought to you by Lexus of Lexington, the relentless pursuit of perfection. We stretch at Kentucky Proud Park. Cats lead the Red Storm 3-0 on the UK Sports Network. Want even more access to exclusive Wildcat experiences, unique merchandise, and elevated access? Sign up for a BBN United membership. You can unlock special members-only perks and help build the future of UK athletics. Visit bbnunited.com today. First pitch from Nestler, a strike to Lawrence. Luke 1 for 3. Right Right-hander rocks and fires. Here's a swing, reaching ground ball left side of the diamond. It's glove left of second by the shortstop Mansour, and he retires Lawrence on the throw to first.
Lawrence got down that line quickly, but boy, they had him played perfectly.
Here is Jace Tarnish, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Final line for Liam O'Leary through 102 pitches across 6 innings. He allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, 6 hits, 2 walks, and he struck out 4. Hit 1 batter. Tarnish takes a fastball outside, 1-0. 1-0 pitch, lifted down the first base line into foul ground. McMillan stalking this one and tracking it. He slows and camps under for the out in foul ground. 2 away. Here's Hudson Brown. Jackson Jelkin has thrown 7 scoreless innings on 78 pitches.
That's strong.
Yeah. Maybe we see him for the 8th. Brown 0 for 2 with a walk in the first pitch. Hudson takes a knee-high strike.
You know, Nestler's not a big guy, but he runs his fastball up there at 91, 92,
yeah.
And he's got a good off-speed pitch. He's going to be a factor for this team as well.
0-1, outside corner, fastball strike. The 0-2. In the turf, 59-footer.
It's going to be interesting to follow the St. John's team this spring because they've had such a challenging, extended road trip, and they've played some very good teams to start their season.
1-2, got him swinging. Strike 3. Brown goes down, and it's a 1-2-3 frame for Nestler.
I got a feeling they're gonna make some noise in the Big East.
We go to the 8th inning at Kentucky Proud Park. Cats up 3-0 on the UK Sports Network. There comes Jelkin. From the first base side, he kicks and deals. Line shot over the shortstop Lawrence and into left. Only the second hit of the game for St. John's off Jelkin. Fastball that he left slightly out over the plate.
Good piece of hitting right there. Lawrence almost snagged it, just out of reach.
First base runner for the Johnnies since the fourth inning. Kentucky leads 3-0. And here's Dan Roselle out of the dugout. Pitching coach makes the walk out from the third base dugout to chat things up with Jelkin, as there is a right-hander throwing in the Kentucky pen.
Darren, our friend Tony Neely shared some interesting information. Since we have a mound visit here, I'll share it. St. John's was part of a game that was considered one of the greatest pitching duels in college baseball history. And it took place with, this is for old timers like me, you probably won't remember these names, but Frank Viola faced Ron Darling of Yale. Of course, Viola pitching for St. John's.
Yeah.
Darling threw 11 no-hit shutout innings, and Viola countered with 11 shutout innings.
It's amazing.
In the 12th, St. John got a weak single and an unearned run, and blanked Yale in the 12th for a 1-0 win.
How about that?
So two former major leaguers in a classic college matchup.
Throw to first, diving back goes Fry. Well, Ron Darling is now one of the national analysts for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, he was an outstanding pitcher. I remember him well.
First pitch to Agresti, runs in and brushes him back off the plate, 1-0.
He was back in the kind of one of the golden eras, I think, of Major League pitching. A lot of great pitchers came through that time.
1-0, that's on the inner half. Strike evens the count at 1.
Speaking of Major League pitchers, our man on the mound, Jackson Jelkins, is looking like he has Major League stuff in this game.
He has been fun to watch. Actually, this game from a pitcher's perspective has been outstanding to
It really
watch.
has. I love these kind of games.
Yeah, Liam O'Leary, even though he's on the other side of a 3-0 score right now, he pitched well against Kentucky. He got himself out of some tight jams against a tough offense.
Yeah, he pitched very well.
1-1. Up and in with a fastball at 94. $90 pitches now for Jelkin.
Yeah, that'll be a short leash now.
2-1 to Agresti. No, it's a throw to first, and back safe goes Fry. Jelkin has done a nice job all day of getting routine ground balls for his infield. He has amassed 8 strikeouts. 2-1 to Agresti. Brushed him back again, and now are they saying it's a foul ball strike? They're saying it hit the bat. And the head coach for the Red Storm want to come out, and we may get our first replay challenge of the game, as Agresti was saying the ball hit the nub, and home plate umpire David Ewell ruled that it hit the bat for a foul ball. Well, got to turn the mic on there. Apparently the mic isn't working, but they are challenging the foul ball, saying that it was a hit by pitch.
I thought we were going to make an entire game without a challenge.
I know.
It's not going to happen.
Never does. So we get our first challenge, and I think that I understand what Coach Hampton's doing here, trying to fight for a base runner down 3 runs in the 8th with 1 out against a guy who's been lights out dominant today. The problem is I'm not sure we have that many camera angles to show whether or not that ball indeed hit the nub or the bat.
Yeah.
They're showing one on the video board to the crowd right now that is to the first base side of home plate, And I just don't know if you even zoom in as close as you can, if that's going to offer you enough. Now they're showing one from the back side of the hitter, third base side of home. I just don't know if you're going to get the angle to give you the proper look to tell you with no question, no doubt, that that's a hit by pitch or a foul ball.
That's a tough.
It's got to be conclusive. And
Yeah.
It didn't mean to interrupt you, but while we have a few minutes for this replay, for those listening on the radio side, we need to pause 10 seconds for station identification, 10 seconds for a legal ID on the UK Sports Network. They're saying hit by pitch after the review, so apparently they did see video that conclusively proved he was hit. And so the Johnnies will get 2 base runners with 1 out.
Yeah, good job there by Coach Mike Hampton.
Now, I'll be honest, we didn't see a replay that showed me any conclusive evidence, but a lot of times on these replays, they might get a view that we necessarily don't. So,
Well, even with great camera work, that's a very difficult call to make.
Yeah.
And a very difficult one to overturn.
So the Johnnies will have 2 on. Fry advances to second, Agresti aboard at first. And we'll have a pinch hitter, Chaz Wright, will step in to hit against Jelkin, and that's going to be it for Jackson. Here's Nick Mingione out of the third base dugout to fetch the Kentucky starter, who was lights out today. What a dominant start for Jelkin. They tried to ride that arm through the 8th inning, but the Johnnies have mounted a rally here with 2 on and 1 out, so Kentucky will go to the bullpen. But Jelkin threw 94 pitches, allowed only 2 hits, 1 walk. He hit 1 batter, struck out 8. He will be on the hook for the 2 base runners that the bullpen inherits. So it's a pitching change for Kentucky here in the top of the 8th with 1 out and 2 on. We'll step aside and tell you about the new right-hander when we come back on the UK Sports Network.
there used to be a country music performer. His name was the Duke of Paducah. He was sort of a character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Jack Bennett will earn that title this spring as the Duke of Paducah.
Let's go. I like it already. Right-hander against the left-handed batter. First offering is a turnaround and bluff towards second. Lead runner is Fry. So Chaz Wright pinch hitting. He is 0 for 4 to start the season. So he's looking for his first RBI and his first hit here. First pitch from Bennett, swung on, grounded to first. It's off the glove of Brown and into right field. That's going to break up the shutout. Fry comes in to score. Into third goes Agresti. And that's a play Kentucky's got to make.
Yeah, he's going to make that play most of the time, but that time he let it get by him. Right over the top of his glove, I believe. But also give the hitter credit. The ball was smoked pretty well. But like you said, Darren, the first baseman have to make that play.
Throw to first, checks on Wright, who's now the tying run for the Red Storm here in the 8th. 3-1. Kentucky's lead has shrunk to 2, and they have a man at third with still only 1 out in this inning. Bennett set at the belt, and the first pitch to Tate misses on the inside half.
There's more activity in the Wildcat bullpen.
They've officially scored that in E3, so Wright remains without a base hit, but he drives in a run. Liner goes foul into the Johnny's bullpen, or I'm sorry, dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's been a very clean game up
until yeah. Well played defensively by both sides. Throw to first, hauled in by Brown. One from Bennett, and Tate waves over the breaking ball. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes on Tate, and now we've got time, and here's Nick Mingione out of the dugout. And now the umpires are going to huddle up. Did they call a time violation on the hitter? That's what I think Kentucky's screaming about, a violation of the clock.
Yeah, and every coach in the Wildcat dugout was adamant that's what happened.
And they've called him out. Yeah, it's a timer violation on the batter Tate, and that's out number 2. Well, the Kentucky dugout and the staff was all over that. The third base umpire, Augustus Griffin, called it, but it wasn't immediately signaled at the plate. And after a quick conference by the umpiring crew, Kentucky grabs out number 2 on a timer violation.
You don't see that very often. You seem to see it on the pitcher more than the hitters.
Yeah. But you have to be standing ready to hit in that box, I think, by the time the clock goes down to 8, I believe it's 8 seconds. First pitch to Luis Rodriguez, switch hitter batting right-handed. I take that back. Rodriguez is not a switch hitter, but he's batting right-handed, and he takes ball 1 low. (1-0). Dips low, ball 2. 2-0. That's high, ball 3. There's a strike from Bennett. Tying run at first for the Johnnies. This game has tightened up quickly in the 8th inning. Kentucky leading 3-1. Red Storm have the lead runner Agresti at third. They have Wright at first with 2 out. The 3-1 to Rodriguez on the inside half of the plate, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming to Rodriguez from Bennett. Runners can move with 2 out. Swing, fly ball into a tough spot in right field, and Schwartz is there to make the grab. Inning over. Wow.
Nice running catch by Schwartz there.
That's a tough spot in right field. It was shallow to medium right and towards right center. A long run in for Schwartz, but he turned on the jets and got to the spot. Red Storm get a run on 1 hit, aided by a hit by pitch and an error. And we move this game to the bottom of the 8th with Kentucky leading 3-1 on the UK Sports Network. Cerny, Schwartz, and Jenkins due up for the Wildcats. Tonight's game presented by BBN United. Nestler's first pitch to Cerny, down and away. Tyler has homered. He's driven in a run with a double, and he's flied to deep right. 1-0, swung on, hit high into the air left field. Rodriguez moving bare hand right to the warning track. Makes the catch in front of the bullpen fence and left. And Cerny flies away. 1 down in the 8th.
Darren, this is what you expect on a Friday night. You know, when you have 2 #1 pitchers going against each other, 2 good ball clubs, and it's a close game, a well-played game, and a lot of strikes being thrown.
Ryan Schwartz 0 for 3. First pitch from Nestler low. He has retired all 4 batters he has faced. We mentioned tonight's game presented by BBN United. You can unlock special members-only perks and help build the future of UK athletics by visiting bbnunited.com today. Fastball strike evens the count at 1 on Schwartz. Here's a swing and a pop-up. Right side foul ground off first, near the first base coach's box, still coming forward. McMillan makes the catch. A lot of routine fly balls off the bat of Schwartz in this game. Fly ball to center, ground out to short, but since then he's popped out to the first baseman twice.
Yeah, he hasn't found his groove yet, but when he does, it's going to be good because we saw him put together some great at-bats last spring, and he's a good hitter.
Owen Jenkins takes ball 1 out. He's 0 for 3 with a fly to right, line out to second, ground ball to third. 1-0. Off the pitcher's glove on a line shot. It caroms right to the second baseman. Fry makes a play on the ball and retires Jenkins on the throw to first. Nice deflection. That was 1-4-3 on the putout.
Yeah,
an assist to Nestler.
Yeah, if he doesn't slow that ball down, it's a base hit.
So Nestler's retired all 6 batters he's faced. We go to the 9th. Last chance for the Johnnies. Kentucky leads 3-1 on the UK Sports Network. Lineup, so the Johnnies are going to have their best shot here. They need 2 runs to extend the game, 3 to take their first lead. Kentucky opened the scoring in the second inning with a home run to center by Tyler Cerny. First pitch to LeGrande. High chop towards the second baseman, charging. It's Hindle. Takes an odd hop to his glove side left. Hindle has to adjust on the run, but he fields and throws out LeGrande, 1 away.
Not an easy play because LeGrande was getting down the line. He can fly.
Here's Rafe Stenger, who's 1 for 3.
It's one of those plays, do I throw it overhand or do I toss it underhand? You know, you have to make a quick decision.
That's right. First pitch, and Rafe Stenger takes a strike on that inside half from Jack Bennett, who sports a blue glove on that left hand, matching his blue cleats. The 0-1 swing and a miss. If I say Kentucky blue, do you think most of our radio listeners know what shade I'm referring to?
I think they do. I'm not sure about the TV folk, but.
Well, they can see it. So.
Yeah.
The 0-2, up and away. For my money, it's the prettiest shade of blue.
It's my favorite. You know, Jack Bennett being from Paducah, there's been a lot of good ball players coming out of that little town. It's not a little town, but.
1-2's outside. They tried to bring it back over the dish.
It's, you know, Terry Shumpert, who was an All-American here in Kentucky. Chris Finley. The Roof brothers. There's been a lot of good ones. It's a good baseball town.
2-2 got him swinging. Strike 3, and there's 2 away as Bennett tries to close this one out for Kentucky.
If he closes them out, I'm gonna deem him the Duke of Paducah.
Hey, it's all you, man. You named it.
He'll have to live with that. I think he'll wear it.
I'm sure he'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
First pitch to Sean McMillan, and he starts him with a strike. A fastball from Bennett, who's coming right at these Johnny's hitters. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Bennett readies from the third base side, kicks and deals, swing, grounder left side. Lawrence is there with the scoop, the throw, got him, game over. And Kentucky takes the series opener from the Red Storm 3-1 on what was a fantastic pitching duel between Jelkin and O'Leary here tonight at Kentucky Proud Park. Jack Bennett closes out Kentucky's victory by retiring the Johnnies 1-2-3 of the night. That's presented by Lexus of Lexington, the relentless pursuit of perfection. Kentucky improves to 7-2. The Johnnies fall to 1-7 on the season. Coach, Kentucky got enough hits and runs that they needed in this one against a tough Armin, Liam O'Leary. But on the other side of things, Jackson Jelkin was just a star tonight.
Yes, he was. I mean, he's the star of the game in my book because of his consistency on the mound. He, each and every inning, showed up with great command and poise. Plus, he's got that really nice 94 to 96 mile-an-hour fastball that most pitchers would love to have. So he's got a great combination of command and power. And if he pitches like that this spring, the Wildcats are going to win several conference games, I would say.
Wildcats will go for the series win tomorrow against St. John's at 1 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 12:45 with pregame here on the UK Sports Network. Stay tuned. Wildcat wrap-up comes up next here on the UK Sports Network.
Be safe, Kentucky. As always, thanks for coming. Please drive home safely. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Good night.